Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos plays Phoenix Wright Dual Destiny. Last time we had a 2P continued, which honestly I didn't see that coming. So let's go ahead and load that and get on with it. Director Cosmos, a new possibility has been presented by the defense. They are claiming that you are this third person. Forgive me. I'm so sorry. So the great pioneer of space development is revealed to be another fabulous cur. I only have one question for the likes of you. Shall I send you off quickly or very quickly? The evidence doesn't lie, Director Cosmos, so don't try to talk your way out of this.
Fine, thanks. I'll tell the truth. It's all just as you said, Mr. Wright. It's true that I was there in the boarding lounge. I got there before Detective Arms, and when they arrived, she fired warning shots at me. I was afraid people would mistake me for the killer, so I escaped to the control room. I then went past the elevator, all the way around to the boarding lounge 1 again. I came up behind Detective Arms and pretended to be on the second, be the second on the scene.
Didn't you fire a gun at her?
What a troublesome old man you are, with such convoluted deeds and thoughts.
I see. So then, are you still insisting that you did not kill the victim? Why are you yelling at me, Venus? Hi. Yeah, I know. I'm not coming over there. She's laying on the bed.
Of course I am. When I arrived at the lounge alone, I saw the true killer. The great Yuri Cosmos was a history-making witness.
Hold it! Now hold on just a minute. We just proved a few minutes ago that the third person that Mr. Starbucks and Ms. Aura Blackwell saw was you.
No, that wasn't me. I saw the person as well. If I were the killer, why would I lie to cover up for Starbucks? I would just leave him to take the fall.
Huh. That is an excellent point. I mean, true, I guess. Kind of. For the most part. Well, it makes more sense if he told those lies to cover for Mr. Starbucks. Still, a lie's a lie, Athena. So Director Cosmos claims he's not the culprit, but where's the proof?
I just remembered. I have an alibi. Ms. Blackwell said she saw the killer at 10 a.m., correct?
Yeah, and?
Well, I was on the 4th floor helping the evacuation efforts. Ask any number of staff you'd like. They'd corroborate me.
The Director's not fibbing to the court for once. I can confirm that he has an alibi for the time specified. So, you're claiming that Miss Blackwell saw the killer commit the crime at 10 a.m., and that you arrived in the lounge after that?
Yes, and I believe the person I saw is the same person that Miss Blackwell saw. Although it was pitch black, so it was more of a shadowy figure and less a person. And I couldn't actually see their face. But it was definitely the silhouette of an earthling.
Huh. As long as he has an alibi, we can't very well claim Director Cosmos was the killer. No, we can't. Then again, maybe we don't need to yet. I wonder if he was really covering for Mr. Starbucks. You know, the defense moves to have the director testify about the person he saw.
Very well.
Director Cosmos, your testimony, please. What I really saw, what I really saw. Tell me what you saw, what you really saw. It's witness, Chronos.
Shh! As I tried to enter the lounge, the true killer inside fired a gun at me. I had to avoid getting shot, because apparently I'm faster than a speeding bullet. But when I tried to get another look, they had vanished in the air. I was near the elevator side, and well, the launch pad 1 door. And the control room door should have been shut tight to the killer.
So you were shot by the killer as well, and then they disappeared?
Yes, though luckily no harm came to my glorious body. Unfortunately, the bullet hit Terran's oxygen.
How? How, though? Wasn't he standing over the body? What did he do? Like, I don't know, did he jump up? use the last of his strength to get the oxygen tank in the middle of the bullet?
I know because I heard the pang. That must have been the sound of the tank being ruptured.
Wait, but I thought the bullet hit his metal. That was Detective Arm's bullet, remember? Right. What a mess this is turning into. So let's see. Director Cosmos is claiming that when he found Mr. Terran and his killer, the culprit shot a 10 caliber bullet at him. Right, but it actually hit Mr. Terran's oxygen tank and ruptured it. And then the killer disappeared, and the director went into the boarding lounge. Then Director Arm caught up and fired those warning shots directly at Cosmos' heart. And judging by his medal, it looks like the one of them almost took him out. Well, it's not exactly over his heart, right? But still. Good summary, but that doesn't explain where our mystery killer went. Director Cosmos, I was wondering if you could elaborate on when the figure disappeared.
I'm ashamed to admit I tried to hide myself when I was shot at,
but that's a fucking very valid and relatable human thing to do. Like, when gunfires go off, you kind of want to duck and cover.
When I peeked back into the lounge, the real killer was gone. I rushed into the lounge straight away to investigate. But what I found was Terran with a knife in his chest, and Starbuck was out cold on the ground.
So we have a culprit who vanished from a scene that has no escape route.
Vanished without a trace. It truly is like one of the great mysteries of the cosmos.
Silence!
A riddle of the ages, indeed. But I'd rather know how a fibbing leech such as you can be lauded as great.
A great man is always misunderstood in his own time. But he must remain true to himself, even if those around him do not understand.
Wow, that might be the first true statement he said all day. But how do you suppose this person managed to vanish so suddenly? Simple, because it was Spaceboy himself. When he was spotted by the director in Aura, he quickly feigned unconsciousness. That would certainly take all the mystery out of the idea of a vanishing culprit. I want to raise an objection, but I don't have any counter-evidence. Director Cosmos, when you saw this person, did you also see Mr. Starbucks on the floor?
No, because it was so dark, it was as dark as a black hole in there.
Okay, so isn't around a black hole, like, actually bright from all, like, the stuff it's warping and bringing in? Like, the center of the black hole, yes, absolutely just spaghettified bullshit down there. But isn't, like, the shape of it just because of what it's dragging in usually bright? Well, from our perspective, right? In terms of, like, telescopes or something like that. I don't really know, to be quite honest. I really have lost touch in space. That wasn't exactly helpful.
I'm prepared to accept your surrender, Wright Dono.
I can't find any holes in this testimony, but I can't give up. Mr. Wright, why don't you let me help? Huh? While the director was giving his testimony, I detected a cacophony of discord. You mean he's hiding his true feelings from us? This just might help us find out what happened to our vanished killer, or at least stall for time. That'd be great, Athena. Let's see what you can do with him. You got it, boss. I wouldn't want to miss the chance to delve into the great mind. Yuri Cosmos, prepare to hand me the secrets of your heart. Are we a fandom thief? Alright, so nothing. Oh, sadness, shock, anger? No longer angry, but just mostly sad and shocked. Oh, slightly angry, okay. Why are you sad? Then nothing. Not shocked at nothing? Like, with them vanishing? I was near the elevator door. Sad at the launch pad 1 door? Okay. Sure, that's weird. I mean, being sad in general there is pretty weird.
Got it.
Like in all the other places he was sad, I guess. He didn't see the body. Well, he saw Terran, I guess, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be afraid of the launch pad door. Or sad, whatever.
The great Yuri Cosmos? Afraid? And what basis do you have that for that outlandish accusation?
Oh, Athena's magic thing. Not magic, it's science, Chronos. It's magic. It's fucking magic. You kidding me? Whether I have any basis or not, you seem quite distressed by it.
I'm most certainly not.
Directed Cosmos. There's something about the launchpad door you're not telling us, is there? Wow, he's speechless. It looks like you hit the nail on the head, boss.
It's working, boss. One more punch and it'll be a knockout. Do you want me to get the loaded boxing gloves, the horseshoe in them?
Has that ever actually happened? Like, I know, like, that's a cartoon thing and like a Three Stooges thing, I think, but for like gimmicked or rigged or whatever you want to call it, boxing gloves, it's more of that. It's like quarters, right? Or small iron things in the gloves themselves, not actually like a horseshoe. Because that would break your own fucking hand, right? I have to look that up. I'll do that later. There seems to be one more emotion that's at his odds with his testimony. Go get him! Okay, back in the Matrix it is. Time to pinpoint our way to victory. Okay, nothing. Shock, sadness, anger. I mean, I'd be angry about being shot at too. Then nothing, which is kind of odd. Nothing. Sad. Nothing. So blue is sadness, afraid, right? Yellow is shocked. That's it, I think. And red is angry. Why are you angry here?
Got it.
Probably not. When we view the emotion alongside your testimony, we find the unexpected emotion. Wait a minute. There actually isn't anything strange here. I don't know, but I think maybe you made a mistake, Mr. Wright. Yeah, I think maybe you're right. Let's take another look. There must be an unexpected emotion here somewhere. Why is there nothing? Okay, is nothing?
Got it.
Yeah, nothing. You must have thought it was very strange that the killer vanished into thin air.
I did. That's the kind of thing that just doesn't happen usually.
And yet, at that time, you barely registered any shock. Oh, it wasn't just because there was nothing. I lucked out there.
What? Why are you?
I can only think of one reason as why you weren't surprised by the killer's vanishing. You must have had a good idea where they went, isn't that right?
No, of course not. That's preposterous. Only I can enter the control room. And the area beyond the launchpad door was filled with smoke, making it impassable. As for the southern door, I was standing right there. So there was nowhere for the killer to run to.
Maybe or maybe not. You went into the room to check on Mr. Starbucks and Mr. Terran, right? What if the culprit took the opportunity to silently slip through the southern door?
I hardly doubt it. As you recall, right after I entered the lounge, Detective Arm came rushing towards herself via the southern hallway. Anyone escaping through there would have been caught by her.
And yet the director wasn't surprised that the killer vanished. So you're absolutely sure there was no escape route for the culprit to use. I'll just input those two pieces of data, and yes, lobotomy time. Presto changeo, less discord. Looks like we're in the right track. Thanks, Athena. Now to make sense of what we've learned, Director Cosmos wasn't surprised that the culprit suddenly vanished from the lounge, which points to the possibility that he knew where the real killer had escaped. Furthermore, talking about the door to the launchpad made him uneasy. In other words, he's probably hiding something about Launchpad 1 door. When he put those two pieces together, only one solution to the puzzle comes to mind. Where's the Cosmos? Did the real killer escape through here? I mean, Launchpad 1?
Take that!
The culprit went through the Launchpad 1 door to escape, didn't they?
Yes. I mean, no. Just us there to starboard. We're going to crash into the asteroid.
A master technician you are not. But the area beyond the door was filled with smoke, wasn't it? True, but this is still the only logical answer that there is. If we can just figure out what the director is hiding about Launchpad 1, we should be able to iron out the logistical inconsistencies.
But the door requires fingerprint recognition. Only Starbucks, my Terran, and I have access. I don't see how the killer could have opened the security lock, do you?
That's an easy one. The killer was right there in the boarding lounge, meaning there's a way he could have easily gotten past the security lock. Come to think of it, we did examine the prints on the fingerprint recognition device. I propose the killer use this person's fingerprints to get past the security lock. Starbucks?
Take that!
That's... Mr. Starbucks was lying unconscious there in the boarding lounge. Anybody could have easily gotten past the security lock by using Mr. Starbucks' prints. And actually, Mr. Starbucks' prints are exactly what we found on the device's screen. It looks like he does have something to hide about Launchpad 1 door. And I'm betting it's gotta get something to do with the culprit's escape route. But I don't know why that confused me. But I don't have enough information to see the whole picture. You know, something just occurred to me. Would you like to hear it? Huh? Oh, yeah, by all means. You're the judge. There's a security camera in boarding lounge 1. Right? That's the one that recorded the victim and the defendant. What about it, Your Honor? If the true culprit escaped the Launchpad 1 corridor, then it might be recorded on the security footage as well. Then the mystery would be solved. What do you think of my logic? I hope you didn't strain your faculties too much, Your Baldness. I beg your pardon? Look, if we play the security footage beyond this point... Oh my! The footage cut off! The camera was running on backup power, but apparently the power cables were damaged. Most likely by the after effect of the explosion. I also just wanted him to be like, if we had the footage, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? Like, we would have finished this on day 1! There's no footage after this, be it criminal or space aliens. And I thought it was such a good idea, too. Day 1 idea, sure. Just because your grandchild is watching from the gallery, it doesn't mean you should try to show off too much. Grandpa Baldness. Prosecutor Blackwell, how'd you know about my grandchildren? I think his grandchild has learned a little bit about the hardships of the adult world. Oh. Setting aside the issues of the grandchildren, I'd like to have the witness continue. Director Cosmos, could you tell us more about when you entered the lounge?
Hey, if I must.
So avoid their sadness. Here she comes to shoot you up. I mean, all these emotions seem right. Well, why do you have no emotion here now?
Got it!
No? Want to view your emotion alongside the testimony you find unexpected emotion? No, we don't. Okay. Shouldn't he be angry or... I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not that. I mean... all these emotions seem right, but I'll do anger anyways. Yeah, okay. I figured. Just wanted to double check. So you're shocked at her coming. You're scared, afraid here, crying. Super shocked. All the above except happiness, and then nothing.
Got it!
No. Why do I think this is it? It's because there's nothing. Shouldn't you be happy? Or shocked? You wouldn't be angry. It's not this one then.
Got it!
Because we already did shocked, we already did sad, fear. I mean, you're not that shocked that she shot you. Or that angry that she shot. I would be pissed and very shocked. I would definitely be sad, but... Oh, it was, okay. Director Cosmos, why were you so surprised when Detective Arm found you in... What do you mean? What? Motherfucker, if I'm standing in a room trying to help someone or like see what's going on and a fucking cop comes and yells freeze, police, and then shoots me, I'm gonna be pretty shocked, sad, angry, and like horrified. Isn't that a bit unnatural? How?
Sadly, even great men such as myself have ordinary human motions.
I don't get it. Why would that be weird that he was shocked? Like, surprised. I thought it was going to be like he was shocked that she was there, but like, why would you be shocked if the defense detail or security detail showed up? Well, right? I thought it was going to be that. But him being surprised that she fired at, maybe he just means you were surprised that she found you. Not that you were surprised that she shot you. Because, generally speaking, I would be very fucking surprised. Myself. Even if I was a bad guy doing something that deserved being shooting, I would still be like, oh fuck, I'm getting shot at. Like, it's not a good thing, being shot at.
Our bodies are bound by the force of gravity and motions. Even a great man such as myself experiences surprises on occasion.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But my real point, it's not the fact that you were surprised, but rather what you were surprised by.
Pardon me?
First, you were surprised when Detective Arm found you in the lounge. And just after that, you were, of course, surprised again when she shot at you, which is natural. But considering what you were surprised about, a strange phenomenon occurs here. Director Cosmos, what is strange about your surprise reaction to the fact that you were... Ooh, you were more surprised when Arm came. Sure, you were surprised when Detective Arm shot at you. But the surprise you felt when she found you in the lounge was much greater. The fact that you were more surprised by this, I didn't even see that, because I'm bad at this. By simply being found, but then being shot at, suggests to me that you were conflicted about whatever it was you were doing there.
The enemy has acquired a new weapon. Commence Operation Hide Under Your Desk.
Sure, that's not hiding. Please tell me I finally sunk this battleship. Nope. But I'm getting less Discord now. That must mean he really is hiding something about that launch pad. He killed the murderer and hide the body in the launch pad. I mean, shit, that would be a twist. I hope it's actually not that, because now that's in my head. I want to be shocked by that. And whatever he's hiding most likely has something to do with the killer's escape. I wonder what it could be. If he was doing something suspicious around that door, maybe we can spot some change between before he came to the room and after. Detective Fulbright gives a photo taken after the crime. Let's run a comparison. Okay. So we're playing Spot the Difference. Let's see, this is the footage of the door before the Director Cosmos arrived. And this is the door, how the door looked after the director entered the lounge. Oh, the red knob thing is turned. Okay. Hey, look at that. There is a change. Something that definitely is different. Director Cosmos.
What is it? What have you two been up to over there?
Finding the answer to what you were doing when Detective Arm found you. That's what. And the answer lies clearly in this footage. All we have to do is compare to the photo that was taken during the investigation.
Don't be ridiculous. If you really do have an answer, then you'd have to point it out already.
Or you had to point it out already. He's asking for it. This is what changed directly after the incident. The big red knob.
Take that!
The answer is the knob. Your Honor, please take a look at this footage. Let's see. Take a look at the knob next to the launch pad door. As you can see, it's horizontal. Yes, it is, isn't it? However, when we investigated the scene of the crime yesterday, the knob was vertical. And what does that mean? I have no fucking idea. It means that sometime between before the director arrived and after, someone turned this knob. After the scene was discovered, you were the only one who could have turned the knob. Come on now, Director Cosmos. Let's hear what you have to say. What were you trying to do by turning the knob on the door?
Fine, I admit it. You're right. I did turn the knob. That knob is a safety lock meant to keep the launch pad in place. I was afraid there would be more explosions. So I wanted the launch pad move. I wanted to move the launch pad away.
You wanted to do what? Hey, didn't Ponko tell us something about? Oh God, no. She said that once the launch pad's fully assembled, it can move to the control room. Right. Okay. But the safety lock on the boarding lounge has to be disengaged first. I guess that clears up what the knob is for. Oh, so if the killer escaped into the launchpad 1 corridor, maybe they were transported along the launchpad to the launch site? I don't think so. The launchpad 1 corridor was filled with smoke and gas. Well, not smoke and gas. I want to say smoke and mirrors, but that's not it. I don't think they could have escaped through the corridor. So then, where did the killer go? Trash chute? Huh. Guess there's still some things we have to uncover. Director Cosmos, I request you tell us about moving the launch pad in more detail.
Fine! But listen carefully, for I'm about to give history-making testimony.
Really? Do you ever get off that fucking Segway? So you're happy. Why are you happy? Angry. Why are you angry here, dog? Oh, what was this?
Confound it! Where on earth could they have gone?
I mean, that makes sense, but you're very angry, so...
Got it!
When you view the emotions, alright, never mind. I know. Okay, why are you happy?
Got it!
I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. You make it sound like you were reluctant to do so, and yet when you did it, you felt some joy, as if you were very pleased with yourself.
How do you do it? How do you know everything there as if you were there?
Pretty impressive, isn't it? This is the power of analytical psychology. Or magic. So, care to explain why you felt joy when you disengaged the safety lock? When I think back on the facts we've discovered up until this point, I have to believe that you were trying to fulfill some hidden agenda.
How do you know about that too?
Because I'm more or less a pro. Guessing.
But you have no proof that I had a hidden agenda. And even if I did, I would never ever tell you. So there!
I know they said people are regress as they grow older, but you, sir, take the cake.
And how could you doubt a man with such great intensity, intelligence, and integrity?
Oh God, he has the 3 eyes!
Silence!
You, a man of integrity? Don't make me laugh. Prosecutor Blackwell? What came over him all of a sudden? You're spouting nothing but falsities since you stepped on the stand. You're not the kind of man that will be glorified in the annals of history. Not for greatness, anyways. Unless you consider greatness greatest bare-faced liar in honor. Liar! Gulp. His words bite harder than his blade. You moved Launchpad 1 after the explosion. My, how naive are you? You fail to realize how even the facts themselves have betrayed you. You know, just a thought, but modern English can be your friend. And here's a thought for you. Immediately following the bombing, Launchpad 1 was on the boarding lounge one side. The police confirmed this on scene. What? Liar! So that means the director didn't move the launchpad? Curse your judgment for calling history's greatest lie to the witness stand. Oh, my judgment to the witness stand. Let us leave him to indulge in his lies and war games to his heart's content. Liar!
Objection!
But it doesn't make sense. You can't deny that someone turned the knob. And once the safety lock was released, I'm sure the pad must have went somewhere. If you chase down the rabbit hole, the truth of the issue, we just might find where the killer escaped to. His head rolls off. You sure it must have went somewhere? We just might find out. Your arguments are nothing but conjecture, bluffing, and wishful thinking. Stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is. Or are you not man enough to me? Man enough too, boy. Ah! Yeah, he called you boy. Talk about hitting below the belt. Youngins these days. I don't understand it. I'm sure Director Cosmos must have moved the launch pad. The knob was definitely turned after he came to the lounge. But the launch pad is right where it's supposed to be. Ah! Wait a minute, maybe I have it all backwards. Like every other time we've done this. What if the director turned the knob not to move the launch pad away, but to bring it back to where it was supposed to be? What? What are you blathering about? What if the launch pad was at the launch site before the incident? And then after the incident, Director Cosmos moved it back to this usual spot. All he had to do was turn the knob to call the launch pad back. And it would be right where the police found it. Ha! You made him sigh like Mr. Starbucks. Was what I said really that off base? It pains me to have to explain how wrong your own logic is to you. However, our great liar turned the knob only after he discovered the crime scene. Indeed, the pad existed beyond the lounge when our Astro Wonders made their escape. The fact that they've been recorded for posterity on filmless film. Alright. So to reiterate, stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is, boy. Ah! Get a grip, Mr. Wright, and focus. We know the launch pad must have moved, but our deductions and the actual facts of the case are in direct contradiction with each other. Yeah, well, maybe two astronauts never actually boarded the rocket. This footage could be fake? Like the moon landing? Taken from the body doubles after the incident or something? Oh, sorry, I thought it was Phoenix saying that. I'm thinking that that's too far-fetched, even for me. Never actually boarded the rocket. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe, just maybe. Huh? Prosecutor Blackwell, what if I told you that two astronauts never set foot inside that launch pad area and instead went into another place? And if, when the director moved launch pad 1 back, it was not from the launch site, but from another place? What would you say then? Cut the existential bull or I'll cut you. Mr. Wright, will you explain yourself? You will explain yourself at once. I know I'm right. It was all the other way around from the beginning. Very well, Your Honor. Let me explain. Director Cosmos' reasoning for removing the Launchpad 1 was... to hide it? No, to switch it with what? The museum? guess. It was a launch pad, right? Okay. I guess I will try. I mean, we're at full health, shockingly, so let's go ahead and, I guess try it. To switch it with another place. Because he wanted to switch it with some other place. I'm sorry, but... Did you say switch it? But what could he possibly have switched the launch pad with? Oh, you'd be surprised, Your Honor. All it takes is a little thinking outside the box, and the answer becomes clear as day. This is what was switched with Launchpad 1. Launchpad 2?
Take that!
Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum. In the past, the Space Museum used to be Launchpad 2. It was all the same, has all the same features as Launchpad 1, and can even be moved to the launch site, meaning the Space Museum and the Launchpad 1 can also be switched with each other. You can't mean. The rocket the astronauts boarded was not the one in Launchpad 1. It was the one in the Space Museum. What? Balderdash! And yet, it's the only explanation that accounts for every riddle and inconsistency. This is how the Space Center was before the incident. I see. Launchpad 1 in the Space Museum has already switched places. That's right. And with the two switched like this, the astronauts entered the Space Museum with the from Boarding Lounge 1. This allowed the true killer to enter Launchpad 1 from Boarding Lounge 2. What? And set the bombs on the rocket. Oh, right. So they switched because of the terrorist threats, right? The bombing threats. Can I think of the door to the Space Museum from the door to the Space Museum from Boarding Lounge 2? Welcome. No, we're not. No, Ponko. Not until you actually have to like testify. Exactly. Everyone could pass through the door to the Space Museum. There is no fingerprint recognition system on that door. I'm surprised about that, actually. You would think they would put one there to, like, you know, be like, oh, see, kids, if you put your hands here, you can unlock the door with your fingerprints. And then you steal all of your customers' fingerprints and sell them to a foreign country. In other words, with the two launch pads switched like that, someone other than Mr. Starbucks could have easily planted the bombs. Draw! After setting up the bomb on the rocket, the culprit snuck into Boarding Lounge 1 and waited there, concealed. In order to kill Mr. Terran when the two astronauts emerged from the Space Museum. Recall that Ms. Blackwell, Mr. Starbucks, and the director all saw a suspicious figure, who, we can suppose, was, after killing Mr. Terran, made their escape into the Space Museum. And after that, Director Cosmos switched the two launch pads, without realizing the killer was inside the Space Museum. Is there any security cameras on Space Museum side? The killer then left the Space Museum and made a clean getaway. Right, Tono, I see you know how to handle a sword and handle it well. Perhaps I should call you Swordmaster Bluff. I'm a seasoned warrior who has cut down many a prosecutor.
Silence!
But unless you can prove your theory, it's no better than a rusty sword.
That's right! You have no proof I switched the launch pads.
Somebody needs a better anger management counselor. And if the launchpad really were switched, there might be a record of it somewhere. At this point, Launchpad 1 and Space Museum were switched with each other. So the corridor beyond the door should be the one that belongs to the Space Museum. Let's see. This is the image for Launchpad 1 corridor. Do you see anything different when you compare the security footage? Huh. That number on the floor. Oh, 1. Oh! Okay, so there's a number 2. Who does number 2 work for? What do you want? It looks like we have proof after all. What do you know? what do you want? Yeah, what do you want? It looks like we have proof after all, Blackwell. And if this is just another bluff... Oh, don't worry. It's all right here. You can barely see it. Right in this footage. Proof that beyond this door is the corridor to the Space Museum. Very well then, answer this for me if you would. What does this footage prove? What in this footage proves that this is the corridor that belongs to the Space Museum? Honestly, I didn't even see this number.
Take that!
There's a 1 on the floor with the launchpad of the Launchpad 1 corridor. But take a look at the floor corridor in the security. Look at the Jesus Christ. Redo that one. But take a look at the floor of the corridor in the security footage. Do you see the number of the floor behind the astronauts? It doesn't look like a 1, does it? That's because what you see is actually part of a 2. What? Why is it a 2 and not a 1? That's because the corridor you see is the one to the Space Museum. And so that means the corridor in this footage was not filled with smoke. That's right. I mean, we could have seen that just from the footage. Right? There's no fucking smoke there. Wait a minute. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Yeah. We could have easily fucking just said there was no smoke in this corridor because we have video proof of there not being smoke in this corridor. Anyways, that's right, because the explosion didn't occur in the Space Museum. The explosion occurred in Launchpad 1, on the side opposite of the Space Museum. And now that we have the 2 astronauts escape, and now that we know the 2 astronauts escaped from the Space Museum, the mystery of the previous trial of how they got down the ladder is cleared up. Mr. Terran, carrying Mr. Starbucks, simply took the elevator from the upper level down to the middle level. Just incredible. The 2 launch pads were actually switched. But you'd think someone would have noticed at an event of that magnitude. Everyone was down in the basement shelter when the launch pads were swapped. There's no way anyone could have known what was happening. I'm assuming that would have made a ton of noise. It probably shook the building a little bit. Really, depending on... Like, those are big places. Maybe they used a lot of Astroglide Chronos. It's not the weekend, so it's very unlikely that happened. Oh, next. Sorry. I'm like fucking sitting here like, alright, come on. You can do it. We're gonna just stay here? No more lies, Director Cosmos. It's high time. You told us the truth. My honor, my glory, everything is slipping away. Time to deploy what? Electric engine ignition. What? It's got haywire. What are you, Kirby? Why are you shooting that star? I haven't played fucking Kirby in years. You are shitting out stars, though. No, not halfway up! Bailiff, on your seat and after that witness. Please. Oh, they fixed the door. I see we managed to retrieve you before you came to any bodily harm. Director Cosmos, do you admit you switched the launch pads? I admit it. It's true. I switched the Launchpad 1 for the Space Museum. It's good to hear words I can believe for a change. Before you do, Your Honor, 2 things. First, we don't know if Mr. Terran had prior knowledge of the switch. And for Mr. Starbucks, he was unaware of his surroundings thanks to his medication. Either way, Mr. Terran would have realized the instant he stepped into the Space Museum that it had been switched with the Launchpad 1. My first question is, if the Space Museum was perfectly fine, why did Mr. Terran feel like the need to put on such a dramatic display? As for my second question, I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the 2 launch pads to begin with.
Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent. But I will say my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could to keep my men from getting caught in that blast.
The director is terrified. He must have one heck of a reason for not wanting to explain why. Probably not a good time to try to pry it out of him, huh?
Excuse me, but would you mind if I picked up my stars? Without my badge of rank, I am nothing.
I don't see why not. Bailiff, help the director retrieve his stars. Oh yeah, you didn't have any of your stars. It appears the possibility of a culprit other than the defendant has presented itself. Mr. Starbucks, is there anything you wish to say? I don't get it. Don't get it? What don't you get? Director, why did you do all that? From the very beginning, you never meant for the launch to go ahead, did you? You tricked us! Mr. Starbucks.
Starbucks, my boy. I'm sorry, I can't tell you the reason why. But I had to do it to protect the Space Center.
Director! Will I ever get a chance to go into space again?
Yes, of course. I won't rush until it happens. I will get you into space again, my boy.
Then the dream is still alive. Unlike Terran, who's very dead.
Silence.
Huh. You're not going into space, Starbucks, but prison. I won't have it any other way. Why are you so hung up on him? Yes, I accept the launch pad really are switched, and if they were a third party at the scene, I suppose they could have escaped. But I have yet to see proof that this third person's escaped via the Space Museum. Oh, that's a good point. He's right. Are there no cameras over there? I guess they would have shut him off to keep the hoax alive, right? I don't have any proof. Starbucks, you will spill everything you know. What? Me? Where did you get those bombs? Tell me now! If you don't, my blade shall feast on your blood! If I'm gonna die, I want to die in space! I have to do something. Solomon Starbucks, prepare yourself! Yeah! Good timing. Now, you know violence isn't the answer, Prosecutor Blackwell. Yes, it is. Well, no, it's the question. The answer is yes. That annoyingly cheerful laugh. Can be none other than... Champion of Righteousness, Bobby Fulbright here. In justice we trust. Detective Fulbright? Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Lawyer. I hope I'm not too late. I don't believe we had an appointment. I tried to hurry, but I ended up helping a little old lady cross the street. And then I had to break up a catfight. I tell you, justice sure has a full-time job. Was it a fight between cats, or... It was both. It was both. It was a fight between cats and two women. Why are you here again? Because the defendant isn't the culprit, and I came to make sure that justice is served. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Fulbright, I always thought you were a bit touched in the head. But have you finally succumbed? Nope, but it looks like you've succumbed to this phantom of yours. Open your eyes and let the evidence of justice uncloud your judgment. What evidence? Come to think of it, he did say something about finding some evidence, or finding us some evidence. I know you're gonna work extra hard in this flashback. I didn't think he was serious, though. So what is it, Detective? Is it something that will prove Mr. Starbuck's innocence? It is indeed. Have a look at this. Oh, it's a lighter. It's a Zippo. What is this, a lighter? That's right. A lighter thought to have been used by the culprit, no less. The Space Museum's cleaning robot picked it up. It has the victim's Clay Terran's blood, and along with his killer's fingerprints. What? Ah. Please let it be Ponko. Order! Detective Fulbright, I can assume that the fingerprints don't belong to the defendant. You bet! Mr. Starbucks is totally innocent. This is it. This is just what I needed. Okay. Your Honor, the decisive evidence that supports the defense earlier claims, whatever. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. With pleasure, Your Honor. Recall where this lighter was found. Based on that, we can extrapolate? Sure. That after the killer murdered Mr. Terran, they escaped with the lighter in hand into the Space Museum. Is this the end of the case? I was gonna end, like, now, but we'll keep going for now. Where they dropped it? If this is the ending, it's weird. Yeah. Okay, switching the two launch pads. Well, it's just kind of, it can't be the ending. I'm assuming we're going to get to a to be continued screen soon. So we'll keep going until we get that, I guess. But like you have the fingerprints of the killer. So you say. But okay, well, we'll just go. Then finally the killer left through the boarding lounge 2 and made their escape. Meanwhile, Mr. Starbucks was found in boarding lounge 1. A fact that Director Cosmos has testified to, therefore, I mean, his testimony is completely junk. Mr. Starbucks couldn't have possibly been the one to drop the lighter there.
Silence.
Ah, but the defendant had free reign of the area until Director Cosmos appeared. Could he not have dropped the lighter in the Space Museum during the span of time?
Objection!
You'd like that to be true, wouldn't you? But Director Cosmos testified that right after he saw the mysterious figure with the lighter, he went into the lounge and found the unconscious Mr. Starbucks. In other words, Mr. Starbucks wouldn't have had time to double back to the museum. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, the lighter could have only been dropped by the real killer. That and there's blood on it. Most importantly, Mr. Starbucks' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on this lighter. I think you understand what that means, don't you? This piece of evidence unequivocally proves that Mr. Starbucks wasn't the culprit. This is like, I think, the first time we've ever had evidence like this. Like, well, no, there was that time with Franziska, right? This doesn't need, and this does indeed appear to be decisive evidence that proves the defense claim. As for the remote switch that was found in Mr. Starbucks' pockets, we could assume that it was planted there by the killer on the unconscious Mr. Starbucks. No, there must be some mistake. Frankly, Prosecutor Blackwell, I've been worried about you. You've been chasing this phantom for 7 whole years. I understand your urgency because tomorrow...
Silence.
Fulbright, you promised never to speak of that. Huh? Tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Is that your due date? Blackwell, you being executed tomorrow? Given the body of evidence, I think it's safe to say the defendant is innocent. In light of the fact that it was impossible for him to have committed the crime. I have a few unanswered questions remain, so I look forward to seeing what you two uncover. But for now, the court finds the defendant, Solomon Starbucks. Okay. Ah, it's almost as fast as the orca. Yes, we did it, Mr. Wright. Looks like we pulled it off somehow, huh? With some help from Detective Fulbright. Mr. Wright, Miss Cykes, thank you. And please thank Apollo for me, too. You're all the best. Oh, I wish we could tell Apollo about Mr. Starbucks' verdict right now. Yeah, me too, but that's gonna have to wait. Now that a verdict has been reached, I'd like to bring today's trial to a close. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Yeah, what about the fingerprints? It's too late to object, isn't it? Yes, it is, actually. It simply isn't possible. Something's wrong. Prosecutor Blackwell, are you dissatisfied with the verdict? Fulbright, what were the results of the fingerprints analysis for the lighter? Huh? The results? Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Well, I was in a hurry, you see, and then there was the cat fight, and, well... I kind of got carried away, and when I heard the prints weren't Mr. Starbuck, so... You have yet to read it? Prosecutor Blackwell, can you read out who the prints belong to? Upon thorough analysis, the fingerprints were oh. Ooh. Uh-oh. We're found to belong to Athena Cykes. So says the report. What? What? Huh? Me? Order, I say, order. Miss Cykes, tell me you have an explanation for this. We have just finished proving that the lighter could only belong to the killer. So finding your prints on it can only lead us to one grave conclusion. I don't know how they got there, but I know I'm not the culprit. This can't be happening. We built up our argument piece by piece, and I don't think any of our reasoning was faulty. So how could it have led to this? Yo. If she turned out to be actually the real killer, that would be fucking amazing. I don't think she is. It's probably that Aura lady, right? Almost certainly. Right, because she has a thing against Athena. But still. Oh, fuck, Blackwell, your sister, she's gonna join you in jail, man. Well, probably not the same jail. Ah! What have I done? Please forgive me, I'm sorry. Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, stop your crying. What in the world is happening here? It's like the world's gone mad. Order! Order! I will have order! I want a side of fries! Judge, I don't think you're getting an order, man. But I think I might be getting a to be continued screen. Confusion spiraled into utter chaos. After all we'd fought for, the truth had turned cruelly on us to accuse Athena of the crime. Somewhere, somehow, everything had gone terribly wrong. We had stumbled over the edge of reason and into the jaws of twisted darkness. So that is it for the case. Okay, so this next case is gonna be all about that then. Okay. I would assume anyways. Alright, cool. That was a twist. I was wondering where it was gonna go. I thought for a second maybe the prints were gonna be auras. Not auroras, auras. Or maybe someone we haven't seen yet, and then we would go to like day 3. But hey, you know what? I mean, dude, okay, straight up though, if Athena is actually the killer, I don't think she is, obviously, but if she was, that'd be pretty fucking neat. Would it, no, I mean, it would be a fucking good twist. I don't know. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next time. Have a great day. Bye.